close higher percentage of the people that you're already talking to.
I would probably give this call, honestly, a B. And what would have made it an A is
we are here to help people get better at sales, help people get better at phone conversations.
The better your skills get, magically, the better your lead quality gets.
I just feel like there's so much opportunity to get better.
Why would she ask that question?
Okay, that question,
Josh.
That was not my favorite, but I'll let you, based on your reaction, I'll let you take that one.
Cash Call, everybody. Dale Archdegan, Brian Curtis back again for another episode of Cash Call. So, Brian, I got a call today where I'm not sure where the lead originated from, but it's basically like an online lead. Must have registered somewhere, came to this agent. You know, it wasn't a direct line to that agent, meaning like this agent, they're buying some sort of lead source where it's just these random landing pages, right? And I think the agent did okay, and it's kind of a tough one, you know, so we'll play it and we'll see if we can help them do any better.
Perfect.
It's a little rough at the beginning. I listened to it twice, but he does say who he is, where he's from. It sounds a little garbled, but he delivered what he was supposed to.
That's not the problem. Got it. That's not where the opportunity to learn is.
That's not the opportunity.
Hello?
Oh, and you reached out through realestateagents.com. I think you might be looking either for a home or for an agent to work with in the area. How?
Yes. Sorry. Now is not really the right time. I'm at work right now, so if you could just send it an email, I can come take a look at it.
Oh, sure. No, I was just looking to chat with you for a few minutes about your situation and how I can help. So just to confirm, you are looking to make a move in the near future, or what's your?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. So he's doing a good job so far, and this is part of our training, right? She tries to push him off the phone. He doesn't accept it. He's like, I just wanted to make sure that you're buying something, right?
Yeah, it's great.
So, awesome. Isn't it great when your students do what they're supposed to do? Because what we teach is, hey, if somebody's going to push you off the phone, at least get your one most important question answered first, which is, are you going to buy or are you going to sell? And the reason that we teach students that is because we have thousands of leads in our systems, right? And so I would much rather follow up with somebody who said, yeah, I'm going to buy, but I can't talk to you right now, than somebody who I have no idea whether they're going to buy or not, right? And then I would rather chase around the person who said they're going to do something than a bunch of people who didn't say they're going to do something, is the point. And so if you're going to let somebody push you off the phone, in some cases you have to, but you don't accept the first push, and you must get your first question or your most important question answered before you let them go.
I agree with all that, Dale. And even though apparently I'm frozen, I still agree with it. So I don't know if that's just on my end or what the deal is there. But
this might be an interesting episode, visual episode of Cash Call. We'll find out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and keep playing.
Okay. And is this the first time that you'd be like buying a place, or is this something you've done before?
Yeah, so it's my first time, yeah.
Awesome. I could definitely send you an email. I don't want to throw you off for work or whatever, but let's find a time to connect. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers, and can probably help you out with some good advice and some good resources. So, let's be sure to talk. I'm also throwing actually a really good first-time home buyer seminar next week, Tuesday night in the area. And I'm going to have a lender and a home inspector. And
so here's what I would say. You hear her talking over him. Mm-hmm. She's like clipping him off. Yeah, like clipping him off, talking over him a little bit. So it's either that she's not interested in what he's saying, or she legit has to get off this phone and just hasn't interrupted and hasn't stopped him again.
Yes.
And so I think it's okay that he's winding this up. You can see it's only 1:56. He's trying to get his first time homebuyer seminar pitch in there. I hear her clipping the words. And so, his time is definitely limited. And I don't know about you, Brian, but, I'm certainly the kind of guy that you're not going to push me off the phone just initially. But I do know that I have to at least show some form of respect if you're telling me the truth that you have to get off the phone.
Agreed.
And I can't stay there the whole time, right? Because then I'm just going to piss you off and you won't want to talk to me again.
We got to use our judgment, sensory acuity, like when you start to hear the person cut you off, when they feel like they're in a hurry, when their voice changes, all these little things that you need to pay attention to. Yeah. When she started with, I don't want to talk to you. And we said, well, you're going to talk to me anyway. And we agree, push throughs, right? We call them push throughs. And that's great. And at some point in time, you're better actually hanging up.
And he's going to do that. But we'll hear him pitch on his first time buyer seminar, which I think is great. And I think he's doing a great job so far.
I do too.
We could just clean up some of the ahs and ums, but we'll hear how he does.
An attorney there too to answer all sorts of questions and sort of go through the whole process from start to finish. So if you want, I can shoot you info about that, because that should be like an easy way to,
So here, instead of I can shoot you info about that, which basically makes him have to take an action and she gets to sit back and make a decision. Instead of doing that, I would have done a micro commitment, or I would have done sort of a mini test close with her. Is that something that you would find helpful, right? And wait for the answer.
And maybe I missed it, but did he ask her if she was a first-time home buyer?
Yeah, he did. He said, Would this be the first time you're buying? And she said yes.
Okay. And then, so one of the things that we want to do is to pitch, and I think you would probably agree with this philosophy, I've got to give person a reason why. Like, so for example, are you a first-time home buyer? Yes, I am. Great. Let me tell you about this luxury properties that I've got, that I'm helping people buy luxury properties. That makes no sense, right?
Right.
Because you're not going to talk about luxury properties with a first-time home buyer. And so, hey, by the way, I'm running a seminar that could be really, really helpful for people like you. Is that something that might be interesting to you? I probably would have asked that question versus just pitching. You could get a no. And so that's the downside. But here's the thing. If I'm not interested in it and the person's already pushing me off the phone, the chances of me actually being able to pitch in a way that's going to be acceptable is probably not happening anyway. So
yeah, I like the asking if they'd be interested in it, which I think he just needed to do right there, what he's doing.
Yeah.
Get a lot of info if you wanted.
Yeah, if you could just email them to me, I can come and read them. And then, if I have questions, I'll just probably send you an email or something.
Sure.
She's like, don't call me again. That's like high S for don't call me again.
It really is high S for it. That's a very good assessment. I agree.
Fine. And then we can find a time to talk when you're not in the office or whatever. I don't want to get you in trouble since having a job.
Sorry.
Hard to get in the mortgage.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
Yep. You got it. Bye.
She's like, get off my phone, sales guy. Yeah, I think she's definitely a high S on the DISC profile. And if you don't know what that is, everybody, you should go check it out. So I think he did pretty good. He stuck in there. I can hear the training. He made the pitch for his first time homebuyer seminar. I think all I would want is to get a commitment over the phone from her that first, she's interested. 2, I might even shoot for, will you be able to attend on this day at this time? Like, I would have just straight closed down for it if I could have, in that call.
Maybe an alternative there would have been potentially to say, hey, I really understand, because I think we all believe that she was actually busy, not I want to go watch television busy. Like, I'm at work and you're getting me in trouble busy. I think we all can agree to that. It sounds like you're really, really busy. When would be the best time for me to call you back? Notice I don't ask if I can call them back, but I'm going to ask when would be the best time, or, hey, would it be better for me to call you tomorrow or later on this evening? So a slot close would be fine too. And again, it's hard in the moment because this call's only 2 minutes long. Like, it's easy for Dal and I to think about all the different possibilities, but I might have gone that route as well.
Yeah, I think that's good advice too. I would probably give this call, honestly, a B. And what would have made it an A is, I think, just closing. Whether you close the way I closed or close the way you closed, one or the other, because this is just a little bit too vague. And now we all know what happens. He's going to try to follow up with her and she's not going to answer the phone or going to ghost him. I mean, there's a good 70% chance that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I bet on the buyer here, not on the agent.
Right, exactly. So, I guess if I were to give people kind of the moral of that tale, and this call is, treat every single call like it's the last conversation you're going to have with that person.
I like that.
That's kind of how I operate.
Yeah.
And then I also bug the shit out of you afterwards. So
then I forget that. We want to call them again next time.
Right, exactly. All right. What do you got for us today, Brian?
So I got an interesting call in my mind. We have a good outcome, so that's good. It was my takeaway. As a matter of fact, I've got a call with this agent later on this afternoon to discuss this call because I just feel like there's so much opportunity to get better. And so here's what I want. If you're listening to this call, obviously we are here to help people get better at sales, help people get better at phone conversations. And I just want to say this agent, not so great in a lot of ways, and yet she's still closing a lot of transactions because she just shows up. She just shows up over and over and over again. And so, I don't know. That doesn't mean it's going to put us out of business and we're never going to get better at sales. But hey, you can get pretty good by simply showing up over and over and over again. So that was one of my takeaways. And the second is, my God, do a little bit better. So we'll listen.
Yeah. I would say, I agree. Activity trumps skill, right? Activity trumps skill, because I know a lot of not highly skilled salespeople who they just do a lot of activity and make sales happen, which is great. But what I also know is that the better your skills get, magically, the better your lead quality gets, the easier and faster it is to do deals.
Absolutely. And this is what used to be a thing. And there's a class I teach. I still say this. There's 2 ways to close more deals. You can either talk to more people. I've never met an agent who really wants to do that. And at least not one who's already successful. Like if you got nobody to talk to, maybe. But my point is most people are not like, yeah, what I'd love to do is make more phone calls, talk to more people. So if that's not an option for you, the other option is just close higher percentage of the people that you're already talking to. And that's what Dale and I are here talking about today. So, and let me just preface this. This is a Realtor.com that was transferred. So it's a live transfer from a call center to this agent. So the front end seems a little bit wonky. That's all that is.
Good. How are you doing on this lovely Sunday? Well, I'm doing pretty good. I has been looking at this house on, and I keep thinking that they'll post some inside pictures, because I really don't want to go tour it until maybe there's some inside picture. Would it be possible for you to get us some inside pictures so I can see if we want to commit the time to touring it? Why? Okay. I can go ahead and do that. Yeah. What is the address? Oh, hang on.
So I've talked about this a million times. This person should have used our system and found the address so that she didn't have to ask that question. She also could have got the answer from the call center. So, and if you don't have it, sometimes when you have this exact scenario of a very specific house that we want a very specific thing for, you have to ask for the address, but it's annoying. They've already probably talked to somebody in a call center someplace. And so, do your best to not have to ask that question, I guess is my point with that. And it annoys the buyer. They're like, I already told the last guy what it was. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, agreed. Are you using a voice changer on this? Mm-hmm. Okay. Because
it's a little bit weird. I know.
It is a little weird. Okay. Yeah. So everybody listening, Brian's using a voice changer on here.
Okay. Yeah, I can see if we could do that. So I couldn't totally understand the guy who referred you to me, but he said something about, when are you looking to moves?
So here's something I want to say. And this is something that I see a lot of agents do when they don't know exactly how to handle things and they're trying to blame somebody else. And here's the thing. As a buyer, as a seller, as a client, whatever, I don't give a rip about the fact that you couldn't understand the guy who transferred it to us. I don't give a rip that you don't have the house. Don't tell me about, well, they were supposed to send it to me, but they didn't. Don't tell me that, because all that says is your systems suck. You might suck too, because that's what I hear. When you tell me you can't give me something that I feel like every real estate agent should be able to provide, it feels like so don't dog on third parties in the middle of a conversation. It looks unprofessional, in my opinion.
So how do you think you would do this? What's the information she asked for? She asked, when are you looking to move?
She did, but before that, she said, well, I couldn't understand what the guy said on the phone.
I heard that.
So just skip that. There's no benefit.
So you're saying just go straight to the question.
Yeah. Hey, I'm curious, because who cares if he told her when she was going to move or not, right? Does it really matter? It matters because you're going to do discovery. Does it matter that the guy from Realtor.com told her or didn't tell her? It doesn't matter. It's ancillary information that just you're dogging on somebody else. And there's no good benefit to that, in my opinion.
I kind of see it as similar to what you said earlier, which is, hey, I already gave this information to you guys. So if I'm going to ask you a question that I should have the information to, I should probably have a reason why. And if I blame it on somebody else, then at least I'm giving you a reason why. Because if I just hold to ask you again, then it could fall into the camp of what you already pointed out, which is, I told you guys this. What are you, idiots? Right?
No, I actually appreciate that. I hadn't looked at it from that perspective. That's a good, different perspective on that. And I still don't like to dog on other parties because it just, I don't know, it feels negative to me.
And I can also see your point, which is, can't you people get your together over there, right? I think it's a tough one, but I think that also I do know that people appreciate a reason, no matter how thin or stupid the reason is.
It is. So if you've got to do that, just do it in a positive way. Hey, I apologize. It was a really quick transfer. I didn't catch what...
Yeah, I like that.
If I feel like I need to... That's fine. Not that guy had a thick accent and I couldn't understand him.
Right.
That's what she said. I mean, she didn't know her exact words, but I couldn't understand him. Well, okay, so he's doing a shitty job. Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah. And I like again, it second. Yeah. I like the way that you did that.
Good. Look at us. We can collaborate, and together we came up with a great solution. All right.
And everyone wins.
Win, win, win. All right, here we go.
Well, this would be, I mean, I have to still in that house is going to need some work. And so it's probably going to need some reno before we actually move. So, okay. Well, how soon are you wanting to purchase, I guess? If we go see it, Will you be able to make an offer on it anytime sooner?
Okay, that
Oh,
question,
gosh.
that was not my favorite, but I'll let you, based on your reaction, I'll let you take that one.
So if we go on a date, am I going to get lucky or what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like to me.
A minute and 34 seconds into the conversation, I don't think I've asked the right to go. Well, I'm not going to go there.
Exactly.
For the love of God, buy me dinner. So,
At least show me the house first.
so I appreciate the aggressive nature of this agent, and we need to tone that down a couple of notches. That's a question that you ask somebody who you've shown 3 or 4 houses to and keeps weighing in the back. Like, are you ready to buy? Before I've ever met you, maybe not the best time to ask that question.
Yeah, I wonder what her purpose was. Why would she ask that question?
I don't know. I'm going to guess at some point in time, something has gone wrong, because this is where most of our bad scripts come from, in my opinion. They come from, I said something and it worked and it shouldn't have. And they come from, I've had something happen that I don't want to happen anymore, and I'm going to verify it never happens again. So, for example, you see a lot of agents get really, really aggressive with, I'm not showing you a house until you're absolutely pre-qualified. Why? Well, because they showed some houses one time to somebody who wasn't pre-qualified and they wasted their time. So now they verify that, make sure that never happens again. I see a lot of that.
I came up with the third way this happens.
Cool.
You watched a video from some guy or girl who has never sold real estate before, or maybe sold a handful of houses and now wants to be the expert on how to talk to people. That's the third way this happens.
Yeah, there is a problem in our industry. Like, I don't technically have some certification that says I can do this podcast. Unfortunately, there's a lot of coaches, trainers, people out there that they just decided one day they're going to be a coach and a trainer. So you might want to look at somebody's pedigree before you listen to their scripts, before you take their training.
Our license is having sold shit tons of real estate and
Yeah.
taught other people how to sell shit tons of real estate.
Yeah. And, we've been doing this for a couple of days and I feel like we're legit. And if you don't feel so, I guess you're watching. So you probably do. But anyway,
back to this call. But wait, I want to say something. So we don't like that question. It was really pointed for some reason. And I was just thinking, why would she ask that question? And I was honestly wondering, maybe giving her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's like, hey, if you really want this, we may have to move fast. Are you prepared to write an offer, right? Or do I need to help you get to that point? I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and hope that's where that question came from. So when you coach her, ask her, hey, why did you ask that question? What was your intention? What did you want to do?
And that's a really good question, because again, it might just be like, this is a house on a lower price point in our market, and there probably will end up with multiple offers. And here's the thing. If I say, hey, by the way, this is a house in our market that's at this price point under $200,000, they move really, really fast. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to be in a multiple offer situation. So if you see this house and it decides that it's the one for you, is this something that you think you can make a move on pretty quickly?
All of that is being helpful.
Yes.
Her question was not in and of itself helpful and could be taken the wrong way by the consumer.
Yeah, I took it as, am I wasting my time, or are you going to buy a house? That's how I took it. And
There's a 50-50 on which way that question was going. But yeah.
I don't know if that's true. And to Dale's point, I hope it's not. Definitely can be interpreted that way. Dale and I both thought of that as a possibility. So, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. And you've already got like a pre-approval letter from a lender? No, not yet. That wouldn't take very long at all. Oh, no, not at all. And if you need help, if you need help finding a lender to work with and stuff like that, I can help with that too. Yeah, we've got some resources that
I think she's trying to be helpful.
I do too. And the important thing is the way you deliver stuff so that people feel like it's helpful. Because again, this person wasn't offended. We end up working with them and all those things are good. And that's not going to be true for everybody, right? I kind of make the joke. I mean, Dale's from Philly. So like I made the joke because I'm from New York. I'm like, if you want to talk to people this way, then you should move to New York. They are completely accepting of this type of things.
Right. It's perfectly fine in my area.
But in Arkansas, maybe not so much. So, understand your regional dialects and trends and all that kind of fun stuff. If you're moving someplace else, I guess. So
yeah.
I'll play a little bit more.
So with this kind of wanted to see if it might be an option. What we've run into is we've looked at several. We relocated. We looked at several older homes, but most of them were way too far gone to, and so I've been watching this one this week because I kept thinking, okay, they're going to put some after the people move out. They're going to put some pictures of the inside, and then I'll be able to determine if I want to talk to the sofa about it. And, but they haven't. So I thought today I would call and just see if we could get some pictures so that we need, we purchased another house, but, you know, we want to see where, we keep looking for that little, it's less that I'm not going to do with you. Oh, wait.
Your recording's not the best. There's a couple of glitches in it, so I apologize for that. I'm just going to stop this, but I want to, one of the things that comes up, and it was really the last thing, we don't need to listen to 2 more minutes of this to get to what I wanted. At some point in time, the agent basically starts talking about how she'll call the listing agent and get the information. She'll do this and call the listing agent. And it is blatantly obvious that the agent is not the listing agent. And the buyer actually said, hey, I thought I was going to get the listing agent. So she seemed to be okay with not getting the listing agent, but her expectation was that she was going to get the listing agent. What's my point here? It's okay to not be the listing agent. And it's okay to not mention that you're not the listing agent.
Do not rub the lead's nose in the fact that you are not the listing agent.
Yes. Again, Brian, are you the listing agent? I am not. Hey, can we get in this house? Absolutely. I'll have to contact the seller. I don't have to, can we get some new pictures? Absolutely. We're going to get some pictures. Here's another thing that I wanted to point out that we didn't listen to specifically in this call. She said, I'll call the listing agent. And if the listing agent doesn't have the pictures, then we'll figure something out. I'm just like, drive over to the house and take some pictures. Mm-hmm. It's not hard. I mean, this house is in the same town as our office. It's not like you got to drive, 50 miles out of the way. It's probably a 7 to 10 minute drive at the most.
Yeah.
Offer some value and say, hey, you should work with me. The listing agent didn't put up any pictures since we've already verified that we're not the listing agent. Right. But I'll tell you what, I'll go take some pictures for you. Or how about this? I understand that you're a busy person, but you want to just go take a look at it? I understand it might not be the house for you, but heck, we get to meet each other. I get to get an idea. None of that happened. It was, I'll call the listing agent. And if the listing agent doesn't give me what I want, then
you'll probably try to call the listing agent because you still want to see the inside of that house. Yeah, just meet me over there. Let's go take a look at it. No, you don't want to drive over there? Okay, great. I'm going to take pictures and I'll call you from there. How about that?
Right. Or which would you, okay, since you don't want to do that, which would you prefer? Would you prefer I did a video tour or should I just go take some pictures? Which would work better for you? Right. I want to do the video tour so I can talk to the person as I'm doing the thing. So
exactly.
And this woman seems to be a little bit unrealistic. I looked at some old cheap houses and they weren't very nice. Really?
They were too far gone.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we could have unpacked that a little bit more too, just to get an idea. Tell me when you say too far gone, what was going on? What are you prepared to do?
Yep.
What kind of home are you looking for? How much is too much repair for you?
By the way, do you have a contractor you're working with? Like, where can we offer value so the person goes, damn, this person's really, on it for me and helping me? Because that's, we're winning business, right? That's the idea. We're trying to win this person's business. What can I do for them to set them aside, to set myself apart from the last 3 people that she called and didn't do jack to help her?
Right. Because she's probably talked to other agents. If she's looked at other houses, it means she's been talking to other agents. So we don't even know if she has an agent or not, that she's planning on working with, or if she's open to potentially working with us.
So again, this person's going to go find the stuff out. And I feel like there's opportunity to reach back out. And there's so many opportunities here to build better relationship, to be a little bit less aggressive. I think we got aggressive about the wrong thing. We got aggressive about whether they were pre-qualified and whether or not there was the one other thing that she was really aggressive about. Could you buy a house if you like it? Would you write an offer? Right. So we got really aggressive about those things. And what we didn't get aggressive about was finding a way to meet this person in person.
Right. Hopefully the training will go well with this agent. But you said she sells a lot of real estate.
She joined my team in December and she has 5 closed and under contract.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'd be like, hey, what you're doing works. And may I make a few suggestions that might help you?
Yep. That's what I'm going to say. I love what you're doing. Keep this up. And here's some opportunities where we can get just a little bit better. Same thing.
Yeah, and the secret to it is, as we've talked about on the show before, we listened to this call. It didn't damage this conversation. There were multiple opportunities to damage this conversation. and it didn't happen. So as you pointed out before, unfortunately, the lesson the agent took is these things don't matter. Well, these things didn't matter in that conversation, but you don't know when they will matter. And you and I just heard several red flags.
Yep. So with that in mind, those of you watching Cash Call, please send us your recordings of ones where you thought you killed it. We'll tell you why you didn't. I'm just kidding. We'll give you feedback.
We will crush your hopes and dreams.
Yeah. No, we'll give you feedback, because I don't know that I've ever made a phone call that I would listen to myself if I went back, that I wouldn't say, well, there's at least this one little tweak. There's always something to learn.
I don't think I've ever had a hole-in-one sales conversation or phone call ever.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's always something that could have been done better, different tone, different inflection, different words, different direction, or things I could have left out and not done.
That's a big one. Things I could have left out. Past the close, like, yeah, I want to work with you. Okay, let me tell you all the reasons you should work with me. Shit.
Yeah. Oh, man. If I had a nickel for every time I've sold past the sale, I would not need to do Cash Call.
You and I both, Dale. You and I both.
Right. Have we given them enough for this episode, Brian?
I feel like we had 2 really good calls and got some good feedback, and I'm excited to do it again next week.
Excellent. Sounds good. All right, everybody, come back and join us again next week. Dale Archdeacon, Brian Curtis, Cash Call. Hey, if you're really enjoying this information and you want some more help for you specifically, 2 things you can do. Click the links below. You can either submit one of your calls and we can play them here and give you feedback, free coaching from 2 veteran sales trainers. Or also, I have a couple of options below where you can get in and get some free training from us and get introduced to our community of other agents and team leaders who are crushing it these days in real estate sales and improving their ability to convert leads, book more appointments, and close more deals.